All right. Hello and welcome, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Hot Girl Reads 48 Laws of Power by Mr. Robert Greene himself. Now, a couple things to address. Um, if you haven't already, watch my last video. My weekly video that I post every single week comes out on Sundays. So subscribe if you would like to see my vlogs, my rants, my cooking videos. It's just really my lifestyle content. Now, if you are here for the audio book that I am basically reading, Mr. Robert Greene himself has written the 48 Laws of Power. Now, I know about 70% of my audience is not from the US. Welcome. Welcome. And I also know that 63% of you guys are not subscribed. So, hello, you know what to do. You know what to do. So, if you are here, if you are vibing, if you are listening to the content, watching guys. Okay, good job, Kushni. This happens every day. But if you are here, subscribe. Subscribe. Now, get your water, get your robe, get comfortable. Get comfortable. When she's done barking. Good job, Kushni. Good job. Good job. Good job. Yes, girl. Yes. Okay, let's go. You ready? Sit, Kushni. Sit. Sit. Listen. Good girl. All right, are you ready? Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Judgment. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person. Dun, dun, dun. Honestly, guys, life has been great. Really. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into... Oh! So, this law is a little bit different than how the usual laws go. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Opponents, suckers, and victims. Preliminary typology. In your rise to power, you will come across many breeds of opponents, sucker, and victim. Of opponent, sucker, and victim. The highest form of the art of power is the ability to distinguish the wolves from the lambs and the fox from the hares, the hawks from the vultures. If you make the distinction well, you will succeed without needing to coerce anyone too much. But if you deal blindly with whomever crosses your path, you will have a life of constant sorrow, if you even live that long. Being able to recognize types of people and to act accordingly is critical. The following are the 5 most dangerous and difficult types of mark in the jungle, as identified by artists, con and otherwise, of the past. Hello, Banana. Welcome to the live. Hello. And hello, you. Welcome. Guys, this is so crazy. I do not read Arabic. I'm so sorry. I don't know what you're saying, but welcome. Okay. The arrogant and proud man. Although he may initially disguise it, this man's touchy pride makes him very dangerous. Any perceived slight will lead to a vengeance of overwhelmingly violence. You may say to yourself, but I only said such and such at a party where everyone was drunk. It does not matter. Hi, Banan. Hi. There is no sanity behind overreaction, so do not waste your time trying to figure him out. If at any point in your dealings with a person you sense an oversensitive and overreactive pride, flee. Whatever you are hoping for from him isn't worth it. Hello, Arjan. Welcome to the live. Hi, brown hair. I don't know what you're saying, but welcome. Hi. The hopeless. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Hello, Ajid. Hello, Arjan. You are from India. Oh my goodness. It is my dream to go to India one day. Oh my gosh. I don't know what you're saying, brown hair. I don't know what you're saying. Okay, back to what I was reading. The hopelessly insecure man. Okay, this man is related to the proud and arrogant type, but is less violent and harder to spot. You're from Iraq. Oh my goodness. Wow, that is so crazy. Welcome. Can someone please translate for me? You love me? Oh my God, you're so sweet. Wow. Like, what is it? It's like this. Okay. Where was I at? This man is related to the proud and arrogant type, but is less violent and harder to spot. His ego is fragile, his sense of self insecure, and if he feels himself deceived or attacked, the hurt will simmer. He will attack you in bites that will take forever to get big enough for you to notice. If you find you have deceived or harmed such a man, disappear for a long time. Do not stay around him or he will nibble you to death. Oh my goodness. What did you guys think of that? I'm so nice. You're from Iraq. Oh my gosh, welcome. Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Or what do the other people do? Like this? Okay. All right. Mr. Suspicion. Another variant of On the Breeds Above, this is a future Joe Stalin. Ooh. He sees what everyone wants to see, usually the worst in other people, and imagines that everyone is after him. Mr. Suspicion is, in fact, the least dangerous of the three, okay? Genuinely unbalanced, he is easy to deceive, just as Stalin himself was constantly deceived. Play on his suspicion. Do not do that. Play on his suspicious nature to get him to turn against other people. But if you do become the target of his suspicions, watch out. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi, Vlog TV. Welcome from the Philippines. Oh my goodness. My friend, she's Filipino, and I want to try Filipino food so bad. Oh my gosh, guys. If you are from another country, please tell me the best dish from your country, because I do also make cooking videos. So I will try to make your country's best dish in one of my future cooking videos. Let me know in the chat below. And guys, I love you guys too. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are so sweet. Okay, the serpent with the long memory. If hurt or deceived, this man will show no anger on the surface. He will calculate and wait. Then when he is in the position to turn the tables, he will exact a revenge marked by a cold-blooded shrewdness. Recognize this man by his calculation and cunning in the different areas of his life. He is usually cold and unaffectionate. Be doubly careful of this snake, and if you somehow injured him, either crush him completely or get him out of your sight. Dun dun dun! That one is scary. Where am I from? I am from the United States. Where are you from? Hi, Yahia? Yaya? I'm so sorry. Please let me know how to pronounce that correctly. I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. Okay. The plain, unassuming, and often unintelligent man. Ah, your ears prick up when you find such a tempting victim, but this man is a lot harder to deceive than you may think. Falling for a ruse often takes intelligence and imagination, a sense of the possible rewards. The blunt man will not take the bait because he does not recognize it. He is that unaware. The danger with this man is that he will not harm you or seek revenge, but merely that he will waste your time, energy, resources, and even your sanity in trying to deceive him. Have a test ready for a mark, a joke, a story. If his reaction is utterly literal, this is the type you are dealing with. Continue at your own risk. Bum, bum, bum. How is that? How am I? I'm doing amazing, honestly. I feel good, guys. I really feel good. Anybody else? Anybody else? How do you guys feel? Okay. Transgression of the law. Okay. So this is going to be transgression number 1, okay? Hello, Yosef. Hi, welcome. Hello, crazy girl. Hey. All right, in the early parts of the 13th century, Muhammad, the Shah of Khwarezm, has anybody else heard of this? Khwarezm? Managed after many wars to forge a huge empire extending west to present-day Turkey and south to Afghanistan. The empire's center was the great Asian capital of Samarkand. The Shah had a powerful, well-trained army and could mobilize 200,000 warriors within days. In 1219, Muhammad received an embassy from the new tribal leader to the east, Genghis Khan. The embassy included all sorts of gifts to the great Muhammad, representing the finest goods from Khan's small but growing Mongol Empire. Genghis Khan wanted to reopen the Silk Route to Europe and offered to share it with Muhammad while promising peace between the two empires. Muhammad did not know this upstart from the east, who it seemed to him was extremely arrogant to try to talk as an equal to one so clearly his superior. He ignored Khan's offer. Khan tried again. This time he sent a caravan of 100 camels filled with the rarest articles he had plundered from China. Before the caravan reached Muhammad, however, Inalchik, the governor of the region bordering on Samarkand, seized it for himself and executed its leaders. Genghis Khan was sure that this was a mistake, that Inalchik had acted without Muhammad's approval. He sent another mission to Muhammad, reiterating his offer and asking that the governor be punished. This time, Muhammad himself had one of the ambassadors beheaded and sent the other 2 back with the shaved heads, a horrifying insult in the Mongol code of honor. Khan sent a message to the Shah: "You have chosen war. What will happen, and what is to be and what it is to be we know not, only God knows." Mobilizing his forces, in 1220, he attacked Inalchik's province, where he seized the capital, captured the governor, and ordered him executed by having molten silver poured into his eyes and ears. Oh my God. Over the next year, Khan led a series of guerrilla-like campaigns against the Shah's much larger army. His method was totally novel for the time. His soldiers could move very fast on horseback and had mastered the art of firing with bow and arrow while mounted. The speed and flexibility of his forces allowed him to deceive Muhammad as his intentions and directions of his movements. Eventually he managed first to... Hi, crazy girl. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying, but I know you're asking a question because I see a question mark. I need a translator. Round Samarkand then to seize it. Muhammad fled and a year later died, his vast empire broken and destroyed. Genghis Khan was the sole master of Samarkand and Silk Route in the most of northern Asia. You have amazing hair. Oh my goodness, thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you. Okay. Un momento, por favor. I want to grow my hair out like a lot longer. This is it's right there. I want it a lot longer. Okay. All right. Interpretation. Never assume that the person you are dealing with is weaker or less important than you are. Some men are slow to take offense, which may make you misjudge the thickness of their skin and fail to worry about insulting them, but you should offend their honor and their pride. They will overwhelm you with a violence that seems sudden and extreme given their slowness to anger. If you want to turn people down, it is best to do so politely and respectfully, even if you feel their request is impudent or their offer ridiculous. Never reject them with an insult until you know them better. You may be dealing with a Genghis Khan. You're 17. Okay, are you guys 17? Okay, something about 17. You know what? Y'all got it. I'm just gonna read to you guys. I don't know what you guys are talking about. All right, so now I'm going to read to you guys a little bit of the Little Red, stories. Oh my gosh, you guys are so sweet. And you're 17. You guys are so cute. Seriously. You guys are so cute. I'm serious. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and get into a little bit of the Little Red stories that they have for you guys, for all of us to hear. When you meet a swordsman, draw your sword. Do not recite poetry to one who is not a poet. That was nice. That was short. From a Shan Buddhist classic quoted in Thunder in the Sky, translated by Thomas Cleary, 1993. All right. The Revenge of Lope de Aguirre. Lope de Aguirre's character is amply illustrated in the anecdote from the Chronicle of Garcilaso de la Vega, who related that in 1548, Aguirre was a member of a platoon of soldiers escorting Indian slaves from the mines of Potosi, Bolivia, to a royal treasury. Yeah, y'all got it. Depot. That Indians were illegally burdened with great quantities of silver, and a local official arrested Aguirre, sentencing him to receive 200 lashes in lieu of a fine for oppressing the Indians. The soldier Aguirre having received a notification of the sentence, besought the alcalde that instead of flogging him, he would put him to death, for that he was a gentleman by birth. All that had no effect on the alcalde, I don't know, who ordered an executioner to bring a beast and execute the sentence. Kushni, what are you doing in there? Get out. Get out of there. The executioner came to the prison and put Aguirre on the beast, and the beast was driven on, and he received the lashes. When freed, Aguirre announced his intention of killing the official who had sentenced him, and the alcalde Esquivel, I don't know. Esquivel's term of office expired, and he fled to Lima, 320 leagues away. But within 15 days, Aguirre had tracked him there. The frightened judge journeyed to Quito, a trip of 400 leagues, and in 20 days Aguirre arrived. When Esquivel heard of his presence, according to the Garcilaso, he made another journey of 500 leagues. Kushni, stop. Okay. 500 leagues to Cusco. But in a few days, Aguirre also arrived, having traveled on foot and without shoes, saying that a whipped man has no business to ride a horse or to go where he would be seen by others. And this was Aguirre followed his judge for 3 years and 4 months. Wearying of the pursuit, Esquivel remained at Cusco, a city so sternly governed that he felt he would be safe from Aguirre. He took a house near the cathedral and never ventured outdoors, without a sword and a dagger. However, on a certain Monday at noon, Aguirre entered his house, and having walked all over it, and having traversed a corridor, a saloon, a chamber, and an inner chamber where the Kushni, give me my blanket. Do you see this, guys? Okay, thank you. All right. Chamber where the judge kept his books. He at least found him asleep over one of his books and stabbed him to death. The murderer then went out, but when he came to the door of the house, he found that he had forgotten his hat and had the temerity to return and fetch it, and then walk down the street. Did anybody else follow what was going on in that story? Aww, go to sleep. How about this? Close your eyes and I'll just read to you, unless it's day and unless you're driving or doing heavy machinery, okay? But I totally was lost in that story, not gonna lie. The Golden Dream, Seekers of El Dorado, Walker Chapman, 1967. The Crow and the Sheep. A troublesome crow seated herself on the back of a sheep. The sheep, much against his will, carried her backwards and forward for a long time, and at last said, "If you had treated a dog in this way, you would have had your deserts from his sharp teeth." To this the crow replied, "I despise the weak and yield to the strong. I know whom I may bully, and I know in whom I must flatter, and thus I hope to prolong my life to a good old age." Fabled Aesop, 6th century BC. Okay, I kind of understood that one a little bit better. I don't know if it was just simpler or what, but that last one, I was fighting for my life. Anybody else? 159. Like, guys, I oh, maybe I can mute myself. Baby. Okay, guys, I'm back. All right, let's get it going. So okay, let's get it back. Transgression 2. In the late 1910s, some of the best swindlers in America formed a con artist ring based in Denver, Colorado. Ha ha! Who everybody knows. If you know about Denver, Colorado. Cushiony. Okay, okay. Good job, baby. Okay, okay. Good job, good job, good job. That's enough. Okay. In the winter months, they would spread across the southern states plying their trade. In 1920, Joe Fury, a leader of the ring, was working his way through Texas, making hundreds of thousands of dollars with classic con games. In Fort Worth, he met a sucker named J. Frank Norfleet, a cattleman who owned a large ranch. Norfleet fell for the con. Convinced of riches to come, he emptied his bank account of $45,000 and handed it over to Fury and his Confederates. Excuse me. Ha ha ha, the dog doesn't. Yeah, I know. Every single time I'm trying to read, this happens. Like, every single time. And then it gets, like, annoying because I just feel like I'm wasting time waiting. Okay, sorry. A few days later, they gave him his millions, which turned out to be a few good dollars wrapped around a packet of newspaper clippings. Fury and his men had worked such cons hundreds of times before, and the sucker was usually so embarrassed by his gullibility that he quietly learned his lessons and accepted the loss. But Norfleet was not like the other suckers. He went to the police, who told him there was little that they could do. And then I'll go to those people myself, Norfleet told the detectives. I'll get them too, and if it takes the rest of my life. His wife took over the ranch, and as Norfleet scoured the country looking for the others who had been fleeced in the same game, one such sucker came forward, and the two men identified one of the con artists in San Francisco and managed to get him locked up. The man committed suicide rather than to face a long term in prison. Norfleet kept going. He tracked down another of the con artists in Montana, roped him like a calf, and dragged him through the muddy streets up to the town jail. He traveled not only across the country, but to England, Canada, and Mexico in search of Joe Fury, and also of Fury's right-hand man, W.B. Spencer. Finding Spencer in Montreal, Norfleet chased him through the streets. Spencer escaped the ranchers, stayed on this trail, and caught him up in in Salt Lake City. Preferring the mercy of the law to Norfleet's wrath, Spencer turned himself in. Norfleet found Fury in Jacksonville, Florida, and personally hauled him off to face justice in Texas. But he wouldn't stop there. He continued on to Denver, determined to break up the entire ring, spending not only large sums of money, but another year of his life in the pursuit. He managed to put all of the Khan's ring's leaders behind bars. Even some of them he didn't catch had grown so terrified of him that they too turned themselves in. After 5 years of hunting, Norfleet had single-handedly destroyed the country's largest confederation of con artists. The effort bankrupted him and ruined his marriage, but he died a satisfied man. Like, that is dedication. That's like, he was so pissed off, guys. He was so pissed off. He made it his life's mission. His life's mission to like get every single one of them and put them behind bars. That is dedication. And that's discipline. And he took whatever it took. So the fact that it bankrupted him and he ruined his marriage, but he was able to get all of the people that did him wrong. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? What do you want out of life? Like, what do you want? All right, interpretation. Most men accept the humiliation of being conned with a sense of resignation. They learn their lesson and recognize that there is no such thing as free lunch, and that they usually been brought down by their own greed for easy money. Some, however, refuse to take their medicine. Instead of reflecting on their own gullibility and avarice, they see themselves as totally innocent victims. Men like this may seem to be crusaders for justice and honesty, but they are actually immoderately insecure. Being fooled, being conned has activated their self-doubt, and they are desperate to repair the damage. Were the mortgage on Norfleet's ranch, the collapse of his marriage, and the years of borrowing money and living in cheap hotels worth his revenge over his embarrassment at being fleeced? To the Norfleets of the world, overcoming their embarrassment is worth any price. All people have insecurities, and often the best way to deceive a sucker is to play upon his insecurities. But in the realm of power, everything is a question of a degree, and the person who is decidedly more insecure than the average mortal presents great danger. Be warned. Sorry, guys. Be warned. If you practice deception or trickery of any sort, you better get off my table. Okay, Kushni, can you get off of me so I can finish reading? Of any sort, study your mark well. Some people's insecurity and ego fragility cannot tolerate the slightest offense. To see if you are dealing with such a type, test them first. Make, say, a mild joke at their expense. A confident person will laugh. An overly insecure one will react as if personally insulted. If you suspect you are dealing with this type, find another victim. Transgression number 3. Everybody say hi to Kushni. Hi. 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 That's my baby. Come on. Okay. Sit. Sit. Down. Down, baby. Okay. I don't know, guys. Sorry, my neck. It's like right there. Okay. Okay. Wait. Hold on. Okay, Kushni, no more, please. Okay, no more. Got it. Good job. Okay, guys, back to what I was doing. Sorry, I had just recently just got a crick in my neck from when I was just petting the dog. Ow. Okay. Please, no. Guys, my neck is... I need to hurry this up because my neck is feeling funny. Okay. In the 5th century BC, Shoyungur, the prince of Xi'an in present-day China, had been forced into exile. He lived modestly, even sometimes in poverty, waiting for the time when he could return home and resume his princely life. Once he was passing through the state of Shang, where the ruler, not knowing who he was, treated him rudely, the ruler's minister, Shushan, saw this and said, "This man is a worthy prince. May your highness treat him with great courtesy and thereby place him under an obligation." But the ruler, able to see only the prince's lowly station, ignored this advice and insulted the prince again. Shushan again warned his master, saying, "If your highness cannot treat Shiyungur with courtesy, you should put him to death to avoid calamity in the future." The ruler only scoffed. Years later, the prince was finally able to return home. His circumstances greatly changed. He did not forget who had been kind to him and who had been insolent during these years of poverty. Least of all did he forget his treatment at the hands of the ruler of Shang. At his first opportunity, he assembled a vast army and marched on Shang, taking 8 cities, destroying the kingdom and sending the ruler into exile of his own. Bum, bum, bum. Interpretation. You can never be sure who you are dealing with. A man who is of little importance and means today can be a person of power tomorrow. We forget a lot in our lives, but we rarely forget an insult. How was the ruler of Shang to know that the prince of Shu-ung-er was ambitious, calculating, cunning type, a serpent with a long memory? There was really no way for him to know. You may say, but since there was no way, it would have been better not to tempt the fates by finding out. There is nothing to be gained by insulting a person unnecessarily. Swallow the impulse to offend. Even if the other person seems weak, the satisfaction is meager compared to the danger that someday he or she will position to hurt you. Oh my god, guys. What the freak happened right here? I need a massage so bad. Yeah, I need a massage so bad. It's not even funny. I need to go to the spa. Okay. Whew. Transgression number 4. Oh, you can... Sarah, are you volunteering? You know how to do massages? Okay. All right. The year of 1920... because this right here, like, I don't know, I was just petting my dog and literally, like, right here, all of a sudden, it's just feeling so funny. I don't know. I don't know. Any advice, guys? Any advice? All right. The year of 1920 had been particularly bad. Oh, wow, that's interesting. The year of 1920 had been a particularly bad one for the American art dealers. Big buyers in Robert Barron's generation of the previous century were getting to an age where they were dying off like flies, and no new millionaires had emerged to take their place. Things were so bad that a number of major dealers decided to pool their resources, and an unheard of event since art dealers usually get along like cats and dogs. Joseph Duveen, an art dealer to the richest tycoon of America, was suffering more than the others that year, so he decided to go along with this alliance. The group now consisted of 5 biggest dealers in the country. Looking around for a new client, they decided that their last best hope was Henry Ford, the wealthiest man in America. Ford had yet to venture into the art market, and he was such a big target that it made sense for him to work together. The art dealers decided to assemble a list. The 100 greatest paintings in the world, all of which happened to have in stock. That's so funny. Thank you, Dad, the great Tom. Thank you. You are so sweet. All of which they happen to have in stock, and to offer the lot of them to Ford, which with one purchase he could make himself the world's greatest collector. The consortium worked for weeks to produce a magnificent object, a 3-volume set of books containing beautiful reproductions of the paintings, as well as scholarly texts. Your voice is psychological Oh, thank you. You are so sweet. Psychological. That is oh my goodness, that is the most unique like compliment I have ever had gotten before. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. And thank you. Thank you guys. You guys are so kind. As well as scholarly texts accompanying each picture. Next, they made a personal visit to Ford at his home in Dearborn, Michigan, and there they were surprised of the simplicity of his house. Mr. Ford was obviously an extremely unaffected man. Ford received them in his study, looking through the book. He expressed astonishment and delight. The excited dealers began imagining how millions of dollars that would shortly flow into their coffers. Finally, however, Ford looked up from the book and said, "Gentlemen, beautiful books like these, with beautiful colored pictures like these, must cost an awful lot." "But, Mr. Ford," exclaimed Duveen, "we don't expect you to buy these books. We got them especially for you to show you the pictures. These books are a present to you." Ford seemed puzzled. "Gentlemen," he said, "it is extremely nice of you, but I really don't see how I can accept a beautiful, exquisite present like this from strangers." Duveen explained to Ford that the reproductions in the books showed paintings that they hoped to sell to him. Ford finally understood. "But gentlemen," he exclaimed, "what would I want with the original pictures when the ones right here in this book are so beautiful?" It's reverse psychology, guys. Reverse psychology. Interpretation. Joseph Duveen prided himself on studying his victims and clients in advance, figuring out their weaknesses and peculiarities of their taste before he ever met them. He was driven by desperation to drop this tactic just once in his assault on Henry Ford. It took him months to recover from his misjudgment, both mentally and monetarily. Ford was an unassuming plain man type who just isn't worth the bother. He was the incarnation of those literal-minded folk who do not possess enough imagination to be deceived. From then on, Duveen saved his energies for the Melons and the Morgans of the world, men crafty enough to him to entrap in his snares. All right, keys to power. The ability to measure people and to know who you're dealing with is the most important skill of all in gathering and conserving power. Without it, you are blind. Not only will you offend the wrong people, you will choose the wrong types to work on and will think you are flattering people when you are actually insulting them. Before embarking on any move, take the measure of your mark or potential opponent. Otherwise, you will waste time and make mistakes. Study people's weaknesses, the chinks in their armor, their areas of both pride and insecurity. Know their ins and outs before you even decide whether or not to deal with them. Two final words of caution. First, in judging and measuring your opponent, never rely on your instincts. You will make the greatest mistakes of all if you rely on such inexact indicators. Nothing can substitute for gathering concrete knowledge. Study and spy on your opponents for however long it takes, and this will pay off in the long run. Second, never trust appearances. Anyone with a serpent's heart can use a show of kindness to cloak it. A person who is blustery on the outside is often really a coward. Learn to see through appearances and their contradictions. Never trust the version that people give of themselves. It is utterly unreliable. Okay, now close your eyes unless you're driving or handling heavy machinery and imagine this, okay? The hunter. He does not lay the same trap for a wolf as for a fox. He does not set bait where no one will take it. He knows his prey thoroughly, its habits and hideaways, and hunts accordingly. Is this book you read hard or easy? It's low-key hard. Some of the words are low-key hard, like, because it's from different languages and I don't want to butcher it. And I do read often, so I try to like constantly learn how to say things, but I will read in my brain, or sometimes I read out loud, but I don't say the enunciation of everything correctly. So I really try to properly say the enunciation correct, so like when I'm reading it to you guys can properly say the correct enunciation as well. But this book is low-key hard, but it's getting us all smarter, okay? Authority. Be convinced that there are no persons so insignificant and inconsiderable, but may some time or other have it in their power to be of use to you, which they certainly will not. And if you have once shown them contempt, wrongs are often forgiven, but contempt never is. Our pride remembers it forever. Lord Chesterfield, 1694 to 1773. All right. And last but not least, this is the reversal to the law. So if you've been tracking along with Hot Girl Reads, you know there is a reversal to the law for every single one. All right. What possible good can come from ignorance about other people? Learn to tell lions from lambs or pay the price. Obey this law to its fullest extent. It has no reversal. Do not bother looking for one. Period. Guys, with that being said, that law, let me give you a little bit of my thoughts. So I feel like that law is very accurate. Do not underestimate anybody for anything. You need to... Hi, Taiba. Hello. Welcome to the live. And what is it about? It is the 48 Laws of Power. Where are you from? But yeah, guys, I think it's very important that you do not underestimate anyone, and you don't underestimate what anyone is capable of and what the actions they will take. Now, you can only control yourself and you can't control anybody else. But with that being said, everybody is like, you will never know fully what anybody else is thinking or the actions that they're going to take. Like, unless you're a time traveler, you probably cannot tell the future. So just don't underestimate anyone, and you really need to understand exactly who people are. So if someone is the person that is going to play the victim all the time, know that. If someone is like very prideful, know that. If someone is very like paranoid and always like trying to snake somebody, know that. But you really have to use your intuition. And yeah. Oh, you're from Iraq. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Love you too. But yeah, guys, if you want to see any more videos, okay, so go ahead and subscribe, because I post a new video, a vlog every single Sunday. And I come out with lives and shorts throughout the week. So if you subscribe, you will get to be tuned into the content that is coming. And I have a new video coming out on Sunday, but you guys gotta watch the video that I just posted on Sunday. So one of my vlogs. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys.